Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Big John's Hawaiian Adventures, and this is Big John coming to you from the parking lot of the Makapu Lighthouse Trail. Now today what I want to show you guys is kind of a secret location, kind of an off the beaten path location that very few visitors know about, and it's called Pele's Chair. And the way we're going to get there is by taking a sub trail called the Kaiwi Shoreline Trail. So this pathway, let me just show you what I'm looking at right now. So this pathway that you guys see right now, this paved road, is the beginning of the Lighthouse Trail. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a sub trail here, this dirt pathway called the Kaiwi Shoreline Trail, and that's going to take us over to Pele's Chair. All right guys, so here's a map of the trail, and this right here, this is the parking lot that we just came from, and then this red line right here is the paved road, the Lighthouse Trail, the Makapu Lighthouse Trail. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take this sub trail called the Kaiwi Shoreline Trail all the way down to the beach. Okay, so instead of going this way, we're going this way, off to the right. I don't know if you guys can see it from here, but if you look all the way to the edge of that hill, you can see kind of a pile of rocks, and those are hardened lava formations. Now, Pele is the volcano goddess from Hawaiian mythology, and because those lava rocks resemble a throne, that is why they dubbed it Pele's Chair. Now, it takes anywhere from, I would say, 10 to 15 minutes to get over there from this parking lot. And, you know, if you do the Makapu hiking trail, the Lighthouse Trail, which is just above my head, right there, and that one goes around this hill, Makapu, let me just show you. Makapu Hill goes around this hill to the other side, all the way up to that lighthouse. So from the parking lot to that lighthouse, it takes about roughly an hour to get to and another hour to get back. So this one, the Kaiwi Shoreline Trail, is a lot shorter than that one. So once again, this one only takes about 10-15 minutes to get to Pele's Chair, and another 10-15 minutes to get back to that parking lot that we just came from. Now, I will do another episode later on covering the Lighthouse Trail, the Makapu Lighthouse Trail, but today we're going to go and explore Pele's Chair. And if you do want to do the Makapu hiking trail, by the way, once again, it takes an hour to get to the lighthouse, an hour to get back. It's a paved pathway the entire way through. It's a gradual incline to the lighthouse and a gradual decline from the lighthouse. Now, if you're going to do that one, I would recommend doing it early morning, because once the sun gets above that hill, it gets very hot. Now, what I want to show you guys on the way to Pele's Chair, I want to show you guys this view coming up on the right-hand side. Check this out. This right here, guys, what you're seeing right now is Coco Crater, just peeking out behind that hill there, and that is the last volcano that erupted on this island about roughly 7,000 years ago. So once again, that's Coco Crater, and when that volcano erupted, one side of the crater wall actually gave way. So I don't know if you guys can see it from here, but one side of the crater wall is missing, and that happened during the eruption. So while we're walking this trail, I'll tell you guys a little bit about myself. So I came here roughly 10 years ago, and boy, I can't believe it's been 10 years, but yeah, I came here 10 years ago as a scuba dive instructor. That's what brought me here in the first place. Believe it or not, I used to work as a scuba dive instructor on the Great Barrier Reef in Australia. I used to be, you know, a backpacker. I was very into traveling, and I would just backpack my way across Southeast Asia, and eventually that led me to Australia. And I was in a city called Brisbane. I was sitting at a bus stop, and I look at a flyer, and the flyer said, "Hey, do you want to work on the Great Barrier Reef?" And I said, heck yeah, that would be awesome. Well, they have these liveaboards out there on the Great Barrier Reef, these big boats that people stay on for a few days, because, you know, the Great Barrier Reef is actually not that close to shore. You actually have to take a boat ride to get there. It takes some time to get out there. It's kind of in the middle of the ocean. They said, you know, we have this internship program where you can work as a deckhand. Now you don't get paid, but in exchange of your work, you get free training to become a dive master and then a dive instructor. And you know, I said that sounds awesome, and that's what I did. I took that internship program where I worked as a deckhand for 3 months on one of the liverboards on the Great Barrier Reef. In return, I got training right there on the Great Barrier Reef, and I became a dive master. Then I did another 3-month internship program where I worked as a dive master and I became a dive instructor. Now that's what led me to Hawaii. So I was looking for a place after I got done with Australia. I was looking for a place in the States that I could work as a dive instructor all year long, and Hawaii was the most appealing, and that's what made me come here. So I did that for the first year I lived here, and it was a great lifestyle. I mean, I loved it. I worked for 2 separate dive companies out here. The first one that I worked for, we did our dives off the coast of Waianae by a place called Macaw Caverns, and then the other company I worked for, we did our dives right off the coast of Waikiki. And you know, there are some really great wreck dives just off the coast of Waikiki, like the YO257 and the Sea Tiger. But you know, like I said, it was a great lifestyle, but you know, it was a very low-paying job. It's the thing about being a dive master and dive instructor is, you know, you have this dream job. It's amazing, but unfortunately, you know, the pay is very low. I mean, some people make it work, but you know, for me, it just didn't work out because you know, Hawaii is such an expensive place. For those who've been here, you probably know how expensive it is. And my wife, who was working for a tour company at the time, recommended that I should become a tour guide because they were making a decent living, and you know, that sounded like a pretty cool job. So I thought, okay, I'll give it a try. And I actually ended up getting hired by this big tour company. Got my commercial license, started driving these big buses, doing these big tours, and I think that's where I gained a lot of my expertise about Hawaii, because I was lucky to be trained with trained by a lot of great tour guides, Hawaiian tour guides, who were born and raised here and pretty much did this their entire life. So I mean, these guys, they knew everything about Hawaii, and they taught me the ropes. And I did that for about roughly 2.5 years. And while I was working as a tour guide, I started getting into photography, because besides scuba diving, photography was always my other passion. And I saw that there was a big demand out here for photographers, especially wedding photographers. Before the pandemic, there was a very big wedding industry out here. And you know, I started getting into it, and little by little I got better and better, and eventually I became a wedding photographer. And I did that for about roughly a year. And about 7 years ago, me and my wife, we opened a business together. We started doing private tours and also photography sessions. And that is what we still do to this day. So, you know, my wife, she's kind of like the mastermind. She's the one that does all the planning and all the bookings and all the arrangements and everything. And you know, I'm the foot soldier. I'm the one that takes people out to these locations and show them everything they see and talk about the history, the stories behind it. And you know, I love what I do, because not just that I get to work in this beautiful environment every day, but it's also that, you know, I get to share it with people for the first time in their life. And when I see their faces light up, and that gives me joy. And it kind of reminds me of how I felt the first time I saw these places. So that is really the reason behind why I want to make these YouTube videos now, because I know that not everybody can come to Hawaii. not everybody has the time, the opportunity, the money. So I wanted to make these videos so that I can put it on YouTube and the whole world can see it. So hopefully you know, I'll have time to make more and more of these videos, and hopefully I get better as we come along. So come with me and let's go check out Pele's chair. Okay, so as you come around this curve, so you're basically coming down the trail, and as you come around this curve, you're gonna see a trash can. Well, it's usually there. So that kind of like marks the spot where you're gonna make a turn. So as you can see, we kind of come to a crossroad where you can either go right or you can go left, and you're gonna go left. So you're gonna go to the beach. I don't know if you can see the beach right there behind the trees, but you can see how this is kind of a secret location, kind of off the beaten path location, because like I said, most people when they come here, they take the lighthouse trail, the Makapu lighthouse trail, but they never think about this little spot right here, which is just on the right side of it. Plus that trail is kind of hidden. But if you guys are looking for a secluded beach, I mean, this is probably one of the most secluded spots on the island. So as you can see, I'm like the only one here. We got one gentleman right there in the water, and then we have a family off to the right, and that's it. That's pretty much it. As I can see, nobody else. Yeah. I mean, some days I come up here and I am literally the only one. So once again, if you guys are looking for a spot where there's nobody around, you just want to be by yourselves, then this would be a good location. So now here comes the important part. So let me just turn the camera around here. Okay, so here comes the important part. Okay, most people, and this is why it's such a kind of secret location, off the beaten path location, because even if people find this trail and they come to this beach, this is not really the spot that you want to check out. So most people come here and they think, oh wow, this is it. No, there's actually a much better view you can get, and I'm going to show you guys the secret trail to get there. So what you're going to do, so here we go, let me turn the camera around. Okay, so check it out. You got to the beach, all right, and as soon as you get to the beach, you're gonna look at your left hand side and you're gonna see a small little dirt trail right underneath this tree. So here we go. Okay, so as you can see, there are two small little trails, one going that way and the one going this way. And this is once again on the left hand side if you're looking at the beach. And what I do is I usually take this one, the one on the right, and you're gonna come here. Just be very careful, watch your step. Once again, I do recommend wearing shoes, not slippers, not flip-flops. Okay, you're gonna come up here. Okay, here we go. Okay, check it out. Beautiful. Okay, now you're gonna continue up here. So there's actually two places that I want to show you guys. What I'm going to show you guys is I'm going to show you guys the bottom location first. Okay, so if you guys want to check out the bottom, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go, there's Pele's chair. We're going to go to the top of that chair. I'm going to show you guys what the view looks like from the top of that hardened lava formation. So let's go and check out the bottom first. And there's another view of Coco Crater right there. And these are all lava rocks, just to let you guys know. I mentioned this in the previous episode, but you can always tell by all these little holes in them. Those are all air pockets when the lava was still alive. Okay, so these rocks, they tend to stick out a lot, so just be careful, don't trip over any. Okay, now this spot right here is actually pretty popular for cliff jumping. A lot of the youth, they like to come here and they like to jump off the rocks into the water. And usually the water here is pretty calm and it's very clear, so it's also a good spot for snorkeling. Let me just show you guys how clear the water is. Look at that. Look at that, guys. Isn't that beautiful? Crystal clear. You can see all the way to the bottom. So it's a good spot for snorkeling. And like I said, a lot of the kids, they like to climb on top of these rocks and they like to jump off these rocks into the water. And that's actually, for me, that's a better entry point than coming from the beach, because this beach tends to have a lot of rocks underneath the water, so it's pretty painful. If you are going to come from the beach, I would highly recommend water shoes. Okay, now I'll show you guys the other side. Look at this. And there's Pele's chair once again. So in just a few minutes, we're gonna go to the top of that. Look at that. Get a lot of fishermen come out here. I wouldn't go any further than here, actually, because you know, it does get pretty dangerous once you get to that side. Beautiful. All right, well, let's go check out the top. Okay, so we're right back to where we started. Just before I showed you guys the bottom of Pele's chair, we came up this trail right here and we went that way. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys how to get to the top of Pele's chair. And what you're gonna do, you're gonna, let me just turn the camera around here. Okay, so you're going to, so once again, this is the trail we took to get to the bottom. And then as soon as you come here, you're gonna see another trail on the left-hand side. Now this is where it kind of gets tricky because the nature has kind of overtaken this trail. So you have to kind of look carefully, but you can still see there's a trail. And this is the one that you're gonna take to get to the top. As always, be very careful as you're coming up. And we have no snakes, so technically no snakes, no poisonous snakes out in the wild in Hawaii, so you don't, that's the one thing that you don't have to worry about when you're going up these trails. No snakes. Okay. So you're gonna keep coming up this trail. Okay, now as soon as you come up, you kind of reach to a dead end, and you can see kind of another trail on the right hand side, and that's the one you want to go. So once again, we just came up from the bottom, and then we kind of reached to like a dead end, and then you see another trail towards the right. That's the one you want to take. So we're going to continue going up here. Nice and slowly. Almost there. Okay, we're getting to the top now. And trust me, it's worth it. I mean, you saw, it's not that bad. It only took about 10 minutes to get over here, and then another 5 or 10 minutes to go up to the top of Pele's chair. So, not that hard. There's a lot tougher trails than this here. Okay, and we made it. Woo! We are now at the top, and I'm going to show you guys Pele's chair close up. First of all, let me show you guys the view. Check it out. Beautiful. Look at that, guys. Awesome. Hey, and look at this, huh? We're the only ones here. Only ones. Okay. So this is one of the lesser known spots of the island. Once again, very few visitors know about this place. Look at that, guys. Check it out. Isn't that a stunning? Look at that. Beautiful. Okay. And then there's the trail that we just came from down below. Okay, so you're gonna, I don't know if you guys can see the parking lot from here, but the parking lot is just there. So once again, as soon as you get to the parking lot, when you get to the entrance of the Lighthouse Trail, that paved road, you're gonna see a sub trail, a dirt pathway on the right hand side called the Kaiwi Shoreline Trail, and that's what you're gonna take. You're gonna take that trail all the way to this beach, which once again only takes about 10 minutes. And then once you get to this beach, you're gonna make a right by this tree. You're gonna see another trail, and you're gonna take that trail up on this hill, and then you're gonna take that last trail that I showed you guys all the way up here. So let me show you guys now the top of Pele's chair. So here we go. Whew. Oh man, pretty high up. Look at that, guys. Check it out. Check it out, guys. I'm just underneath Pele's chair right now. Look at that. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning. And then I'll show you guys how it looks from this side. Let's check it out a little bit. Just be super careful. Oh, look at that. That's cool. Alright. Whew. Look at that, guys. Beautiful. And that's Pele's chair. Well, that concludes another episode of Big John Swine Adventures. So thank you for tuning in, and I will have more episodes for you guys coming here pretty shortly. So just be patient, and if you guys do like these videos and you guys want to see more of them, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Thank you so much once again. Aloha.